Now back to one of our top stories for the day, where Malaysia's Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin appears set to declare a state of emergency. Well, we have Dr. Johan Saravanamuttu, Adjunct Senior Fellow at the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies, with us now to shed more light on what all of this means. So, whenever there's mention of the use of, emergency powers in a Malaysian context, some people might think that it was used during the Malayan emergency between 1948 to 1960, but this is not quite the same, is it?
No, I think so. The 1948 to 1961 was because of the communist insurgency, and there have been several other emergency enactments after that. The one during confrontation, the Indonesian confrontation, and of course the May 1969 riots caused an emergency, I think the longest one under the National Operations Council. And then subsequent to that, there was the 66 one in Sarawak, I believe, and then most recently is the one in Kelantan, which was only imposed on the state of Kelantan. And a law was enacted in Parliament to do that. So, so most of these emergencies have been due to political situations or security situations, or public order. So this time around, it strikes me that it is not a public order question. I'm not sure what it is. Is it a health emergency? We haven't heard yet what it'll actually turn out to be. Yeah.
And what do you make of the use of the word emergency then? Is it merely related to the powers that they are seeking?
I think so. I think, if you ask in my humble opinion, we do not have an emergency situation in Malaysia. There are no riots. People are very calm. I mean, the COVID situation is not good. The cases have gone up to about 800, in the last week or so. And the infectivity rate has also gone beyond 1. However, and death, there have been 10 deaths today. However, I don't think there is any sort of, people are feeling that there is a kind of an emergency situation. However, if you look at the political situation, you could say there's a kind of emergency occurring, in politics, in the sense that the government is not very stable, and there's talk that it doesn't have a majority in Parliament. Yeah.
Dr. Johan, can you also help us understand that we know that the announcement may be delayed until tonight? Why this delay, though?
Well, I think, to be fair, I think the delay could be due to just being very late in the day. That the Prime Minister managed to get an audience with the Agong, with the King. I think it was like almost 6 o'clock before he went to see him. And, so it might take a while before the King is able to digest, what the Prime Minister has said to him, and of course to issue that statement, because it will be a very complicated thing to do, because what you have to do in a situation is to have, maybe some legal advice to put the correct words into place and to declare the kind of emergency that, the Prime Minister is asking for. I'm not sure what is the nature of this emergency. We have had different types of emergency. So the particular nature of it, I think we're going to get to hear it. So the particular type of emergency that's being asked for, I think will be clarified once we hear from the King or from the Prime Minister, as the case may be.